What's good, everybody? It's Keegan back with my tea of the day. Welcome back to episode 75. Siete y cinco. Welcome back, guys. I know it's been a while, but I went to Mexico. I had my birthday, and just been like working, trying to focus on myself. So you already know it's the end of the year almost, and I have to do my year-end album review because even though we've been in COVID, we've been in this whole pandemic for over a year now. We've really been getting some great music from a lot of artists, and a lot of artists I never knew about, or I wasn't ready to dig in, or whatever that might have been. We've been getting some great albums. So I have 10 albums in front of me. Even though we had so much music that we digested, these are my top 10 favorites. I want to just give a shout out to definitely Young M.A, Red Flu. That was a dope album. She gave us metaphor, she gave us bars, she gave us this rap, hip hop. And it would be unmissed, or it would be a problem if I didn't say that. So, unfortunately, she didn't make my list because it was just so many albums that was just so great this year. My top 10 album is Music to Be Murdered by, of course, Mr. Eminem. This is Slim Shady, the GOAT. This album was Eminem at his prime. This album, he dug deep. He gave us still the stories and the storylines that we know and love from him. He gave us the bars. He gave us the cadence. He gave us the fast rap. He proved, once again, why he's the GOAT. Why he delivers what he delivers. Why he has why he has so many people trying to be him, trying to imitate him, trying to sit at his spot at the table. And he proved that on Music to Be Murdered. It was a perfect timing after Godzilla happened, and I think it was another album right before that didn't do so well. And we wasn't sure what happened there, but I'm happy he delivered. He gave us real hip-hop, real music, real stuff that was relatable. My favorite 3 tracks is definitely Godzilla featuring Juice WRLD, rest in peace. That track was just bossy, it was just bold, it was aggressive. Like, he definitely had a point. He definitely was aiming at someone. And he was just letting them know, like, I'm that big dog. Calm down. I loved it. Second one is definitely Unaccommodating, featuring Young M.A. I'm happy like he got Young M.A on the track. I'm happy he didn't try to alter it, and I'm happy she was just able to be herself. She definitely killed the verse. To me, she definitely did more or better than him, and maybe that was on purpose, so she can shine, because she's definitely a dope rapper. And the song was just overall a good song. Last was definitely Those Kind of Nights featuring Ed Sheeran. It was definitely a hip hop / like R&B track, like a storytelling track, which I love when gets in his bag and he just starts telling stories. I was here for it. My number 9 album of 2020, I have to give it to Bigger Love by Mr. John Legend. I have to give it to them because he made me fall back in love with him. He's always have been basically my best male vocalist since he came out. There's no one topping him, in my opinion, vocally. I'm sorry, he's sitting everyone down. Artistically, he's very different. He's very out of the box. He's very artist. He's very artistic. He plays the piano, and not a lot of male artists or artists in general do that. The only one that we can kind of compare them to would be Alicia Keys. That's why they did the versus battle. And I would say Lady Gaga because she plays the piano as well. But other than that, like, he's definitely in his own lane. He has his own soulful voice. It's not like R&B, but it's like he gives you that soul and you feel exactly what he's saying. This album with everything, it definitely came at a great time of the year. And you have to see him in his prime, in his happy spot, in his happiness, like bigger love. Like, yeah, we're going through hell, but there's something bigger at the end of the road. There's something bigger in our picture. And we definitely needed to feel that during the pandemic. And I'm happy he released it during the pandemic. During Juneteenth, during the Black Lives Matter movement, during pandemic, there's a lot going on. We definitely needed some joyful, cheery music to make us fall back in love again. My 3 favorite tracks would definitely have to be One Love, I Do, and You Move, I Move, featuring Miss Jhené Aiko. Oniki, however you pronounce the lady's name. She's been on some tracks that I've been feeling. I just can't get into her. I've tried. Because I think she dropped the album this year last year. I definitely tried. I might have to try again, but I don't know. It's just a disconnect to me with just her music. But with just other people's tracks, she definitely shines. She definitely does what she needs to do. And I was so happy with this album. My number 8 album, I'll have to give it to Bitch from the South by Big Latto, Miss Mulatto, Miss that girl, that new girl who's coming to play, who's coming to give us some bars, give us some sex appeal, give us a package. And I'm here for it. I'm here that she's really trying to work on her craft, really trying to work on her writing, and just the confidence that she has. It's very appealing. It's just so, ooh. I can't even describe it. But Mulatto, like this album, I cannot stop playing it. It's something about it. It's not, I can't necessarily say it's like one of the best albums in general. I don't think it's like a classic album, but it's definitely a statement album. It's definitely a freak album. It's definitely a throw your ass album. It's definitely a I'm here album. And I'm happy that she did this. She's the bitch from the South. And she got Trina on it. She got Gucci on it. Like, City Girls. She definitely did what she needed to do with features. My top 3 songs is definitely In and Out featuring City Girls. Like, that whole track is just, if you say you don't like In and Out, there's a problem. If you say you don't like Mulatto, it's a problem. In and Out was just everything. It was definitely like an In the Club type song, playing double dutch type song, like you just at the barbecue type shit. Like, and then City Girls definitely adds a element of twerkness to it, or ratchetness, or like they add something. I can't necessarily describe exactly what the City Girls add, but they add something to their tracks when they are features. When they're by themselves, I'm okay, but when they do feature, they add some type of element to it that I like. I just can't pinpoint exactly what it is. Then is On God, like, pussy too good, make this out the hood, come on. And then, of course, Muwop featuring Gucci, where she featured Freaky Girl song from Gucci, and she flipped it and she made it her own. And I loved it. I was here for it. I was here for the confidence. I loved the video. That was my number 8 album, guys. Now let's go into number 7. Number 7 has to definitely be, it has to go to Kiki. Miss Kiana Lede. I never met her before. I never knew she existed. But this album was a whole vibe. Like, from the top to The first track to the last track, it wasn't necessarily a story, but it's just a vibey album where you just relax, you drinking, you sipping on something, you smoking, you just relaxing in your thoughts. And you put this on, it's over. Like, she definitely delivered. She's definitely a great singer. And I love the confidence on this album. I love the topics that she was talking about in terms of relationships. And that tug of war where it's like, it's over, but it's not over. You gotta love yourself, but then how much you give to a person kind of aspect. So my top 3 tracks would definitely be Attention. It would definitely be Forfeit featuring Lucky Day. And it has to be Mad at Me, that sample that she used, that Snoop Dogg sample with everything. Like, especially her, she used, I think, 2 or 3 different samples on this album, and the way she flipped it and made it completely fresh, completely new, but it still had the old school essence that we needed. And she did it right. I just can't wait for album number 2. I cannot wait to listen to another Kiana Lede album and see what that is like. Let's get into number 6. Number 6 has a very personal feel and hold on my heart. I've heard this young lady's name thousands of times in the industry. So many people definitely wanted me to listen to her. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't. I don't know why, I couldn't. But one day, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try something new. And this sister, her album, it just dropped. And it was good until it wasn't. Miss Kehlani. Miss Kehlani is... I don't know her. I don't know her story. But the pain she sings with is wonderful. Her voice is amazing. I love her new aspect of R&B. Because I'm not fond with a lot of these new R&B girls who's trying to like give us the same essence as old school, but they just can't. But she's giving us like a new spin on R&B. She still has the soul, but not as much. But she still has like the new school vibe to it, and I love it. It was good until it wasn't. It's definitely a classic R&B album. I have to give it to her. From my first track to that last track, you don't skip a track. It's just a whole vibe. It is just an amazing album. Again, relationship topics that we all can relate to. Giving too much, or trying to be that only one, or can I show you something? Can I teach you something? Can I let you bring down your guard? Like, can I be that one that you just need? Can I be that for you? And my 3 favorite tracks has to be Can I? That sample track with everything. What she did with it was amazing. It was something I didn't expect, especially to start off the album. And it featured Mr. Tory Lanez, and I'm not a fan. I never was, never planned to be a fan of him, but he definitely gave the track something it needed. Without him, it definitely would have been a solid track, but he gave us something. He gave us a male's perspective of that conversation that she needed to have in Can I. The next one was definitely Serial Lover. We've all been there. We've all felt like we're just in relationships, but we're not really doing the work when we break up or when the relationship fails. We're just continuously going back into different relationships. I'm wondering why they don't work, because we're attracting the wrong person. We're not dealing with what we need to deal with in terms of ourselves before we're ready to go back into something else. And then it definitely is Change Your Life featuring Miss Jhené Aiko. Let me change your life. I wanna be everything. And that was another sample. I don't remember what song of a sample, but that beat was everything. And again, Jhené Aiko gave us something different that track needed. This was a solid album. This was an album when you're just going through something, when you're just in your feelings. It was good till it wasn't, and we all can relate. Let's get into my number 5 album, All Monsters Are Human, featuring by Miss Kimberly Michelle Pate, Miss K. Michelle, Miss Red Wig, my second favorite artist. I really forgot that she dropped this at the beginning of the year when I was making this list. And it would be wrong of me to not include this amazing body of work. This was R&B. This was definitely in her feelings. This was definitely telling a story of where she was when she was writing this, when she was going through the beginning of her surgeries to recreate her body, to take out all of the toxins that she put in there, to try to fall in love with that new body that she has now, to fall in love with the idea of all of the guys who hurt her while she's still trying to be happy in her relationship, still trying to see if he's all in, still trying to figure out if she deserves love. And I think we all can attest to that. Like, we all have that feeling, like, do I deserve love? Like, am I supposed to be loved? Am I supposed to be in this relationship? Am I fully healed? Like, did I do the work? Why am I still attracting all of these guys? Like, this was a classic album. This was definitely R&B to its fullest. No one can do what Kim Sean does. There's no box you can put her in. She is R&B. And you have to give credit where it's due. R. Kelly helped her. Right from a place no one can write from. Use the bravest that she used. The artistic values that she has. Just none other. My 3 favorite tracks from All Monsters Are Human. And let's get into the title. Because all monsters are human. Like, we can say someone else is evil, but are you looking inside yourself to evaluate your evil traits, your demon traits, your not so great traits? No, we're not. We're just putting it on to the next person, but we're not looking inside of ourselves to figure out what's wrong with us. But it definitely is the worst. The worst is that track where you're just in a zone. You are just crying your heart out. You are just singing every word of it. When she gave us that leak for like 15 seconds, I already knew it wasn't a moon track. I already knew, oh, she's not playing. She's not playing. Next track is definitely, you can play that game. Because you want to cheat, you want to lie, you want to do all that stuff. I can do it too, boo-boo. Like, we can both play. I'm not here to play. I'm here to love. But if that's what you want to do, we can do that. And I love the aspect. And then it's like a CA. It's like a CA and a CB. Because I couldn't just give you 3. I had to give you 4. So, of course, The Rain. I love the New Edition track that she used. I loved how she spun it. I loved how sexual but elegant it was. I just loved the video, the visuals, the message. I can make it wetter than a thunderstorm. And the part B to that definitely has to be all the lovers. Like, where do all the lovers go when love is not loving you no more? Do they run? Do they hide? Or do we just give love another try? Or like when you've been hurt too much, where do you go? Are we gonna continue to just believe in love? Are we gonna continue to believe in happily ever after? Or like where do those people who just love so hard, where do we go? My number four, my fourth album of 2020 has got to be Treat Myself, featuring Meghan Trainor. Meghan Trainor. She had a specific sound that she used since her debut. All about that bass and a few of her other hits. This album was so different. Like it had hints of that formula, but it was just so different. Like she was so playful with this album. She dug deep. She told us and explained like different scenarios and different relationship aspects that she dealt with for the last few years. She didn't know if she wanted to sing again. She didn't know if she could do music. She was in an unsure place of where she wanted to go career-wise. And I'm happy she poured her heart out for us. Because this album is definitely a classic album. This album does not get the credit it deserves. And I don't understand why. This album was great front to back. No skips. Solid tracks. My top three of this album definitely have to be Ashes. Ashes is just a beautiful song. It would definitely make you cry. It's about love. It's about just relationships. It's about life. Waves featuring Mike Sabbath. Here to Stay. And I had to add Nice to Meet You featuring Nicki Minaj. Because when that song came out, it was everything. Her dancing, just the camaraderie that Nicki and her had. It was everything. It was for the culture. It was needed. It was a great feature. Now we get into my third album. I have to give it to the album. It's Teyana Taylor. I heard in the streets that she wants to quit music. That she wants to retire after 3 albums. This message is for you. This album was amazing. This album was well written, well directed. I loved how you gave each of your fans different parts of you. If you wanted to be in your feelings, this is part A. If you want to dance and twerk, this is part B. If you want to be in your feelings, this is part C. If you wanted just classic R&B, this is part 4. Like, you separated them in a way where it's just like, you wanted to grasp everyone. You wanted this to be consumed by everyone. All of your fans. Because you've been hearing us, you've been hearing our cries. And this was a long album. And for this to be a long album with so many parts, so many ups and downs and ins and outs, this is a classic album. And we need artists like you. You're so passionate about your work. You really dig deep. And you go so far. Like, your tone is everything. And the fact that you can rap and you can sing is just even a bigger plus. You need it in this industry. Hopefully that's why they're not trying to let you go. Because they know that they need you. And they know how important you are. How needed you are in this industry. In life. Just don't stop creating. Don't stop creating music. But this album was so long. But this album was so fulfilling. And by calling it the album, has a greater it had a greater pressure on you. And you delivered. This was a solid classic album that's gonna go around for years and years and years and be played. My top 3 favorite tracks will have to be Low Key, featuring Miss Erykah Badu, you gave Erica a song where this fit her. And the way that y'all meshed together was just, it was artistic genius. And it was needed. Then you got Boomin', an 80s style track, featuring Missy Elliott and Future. We know anything that Missy touches is gonna be a hit. It's gonna be visually stunning. It's gonna be artistic. It's gonna be everything. And then you have Ever Ever, and this was like a Lauryn Hill tribute, Sweetest Dream, Sweetest Thing. And you did this tribute, this rendition, this cover. You gave the shit justice. You brought the shit back, and you killed it. This album was purely amazing. And you see how all of these albums are just so different. They might have similar topics that they're discussing, but they're so different. I got 2 cards left. 2 albums. This next album is from, I would have to give it to the princess of pop and R&B. That's not her title, but I'm giving it to her. Miss Ariana Grande with Positions. And I know you might think it just came out. How can this be album or the second album of the year? Simple. This was a classic R&B album. And it's unfortunate because she's going to be put in pop categories. Because they assume and attest that she's a pop girl. But she can make R&B albums. And this is a pure R&B album. She did her research. And she researched R&B. She sung with soul. She sung with passion. She told us a story. She told us what she's been dealing with and love. And how she found new love. And how those beginning stages are where you find your new mate, your new person that you're dealing with. And how in love you are. How nothing that they do bothers you. Like how innocent everything is. Like when you're learning from them, they're learning from you. Love language. And you're telling me that you love me, but I don't even love myself. Like, can you show me how you love me? So, y'all know I love a vocalist. I love me some vocals. I love some runs, some riffs. I need that in a singer. If you can't deliver that, I don't know. So my top track is definitely POV, Point of View. This is her best song in her whole catalog. This is like on a classic song that's gonna live on for years and years and years. She just got that. Just like Hero and Christmas and all that stuff with Mariah Carey. POV is Ariana Grande. I can hear it in movies. I can hear it in music. I can hear it in TV shows. This song is just so beautiful. So emotional. Just so, wow. I want to love me the way that you love me. I want to see me from your point of view. Because I don't see it. And I know we've all been there where maybe your significant other loved you more than you love yourself at the particular moment. And we're trying to get there, but it's like, how do you love me the way that you love me? Because I don't see it. Love language. It gives me that 70s, like that 70s, 80s, 60s vibe. I love the strings. I love everything. Let me be your love language. We can make love all night. And I love how sexual she was. Like, she was a woman in this album. I mean, I got to, like, she played with it throughout her last album, Thank You Next, and then Sweetener. But she was tired of people acting like she's not a grown woman, like she don't do this stuff. And I was here for it. And Off the Table, featuring Abel, aka The Weeknd. Another honorable mention. The Weeknd album. I didn't listen to it. I heard it was good. I'm going to have to give that album a try. But the Grammys, you tried it for not nominating him there once. And for the album to do numbers that it did, for his single to do the number one spot for X amount of weeks, you'll try it. But that's another story. Off the Table as a love song was like, we've been fighting, we've been going through it, but is love even an option? Is love even still on the table? Are we still in love? Like, what are we doing? A classic album. My favorite R&B album. My favorite Ariana Grande album by far. Thank You Next was definitely that one for me, but Positions does not get the credit. This was R&B. This was grown Ariana. This is something I related to. This was number 2. My number 1 top album of 2020. I gotta give it to my girls. Ungodly Hour. I have to give it to Miss Chloe and Miss Halle. Like, y'all cannot deny the power that they have. You cannot deny the presence that they have. You cannot deny the motherfucking talent that these women possess. If you have not listened to Chloe and Halle, where have you been? They've been all over 2020. This was the year. And this is their second album. And it deserves every motherfucking award it's nominated for. Absolutely. Woman of the Year? Absolutely. Rising Artist? I think that's what the award that they got from Billboard? Absolutely. These are the girls that's going to take the industry by storm. These are the girls that's going to alter the industry. They're going to change it a little bit. They're going to get the industry together and make it more about talent like it was, instead of just hit singles or this or fashion or that. No. They're going to give you your dances, they're going to give you the fashion, they're going to give you this, they're going to give you that. But above all, they're going to give you those vocals. They're going to give you those harmonies. They're going to give you switching vocals. One song, Chloe might be on the top. Might be hitting soprano. Next Hallie's going to hit those. And then within the song, they're going to intertwine and interchange their vocals. So that note that Chloe was supposed to hit, Hallie's going to hit that. And that note that Hallie's supposed to hit, Chloe's going to hit that. What duo you know who's doing that? No one. These girls are it. Beyonce knew what the fuck she was doing. And we're not gonna do this. They would be great solo. If they break up, Chloe will be the next Beyonce. No, Chloe will be the next Chloe. And we're not gonna have that discussion because they're not gonna break up. Just as well as they can be separate, we need them together. We want them together. They deserve to be together. This is a package deal. And they're sickening. The way that you'll try to play Halle, because she's more conservative, she hits you with the vocals. Chloe has amazing vocals. But that jazz infusion that Halle has, it's unmatched. It's untouched. And when you harmonize together, it's pure bliss. No one's sounding like that in the industry. Sorry. But not sorry. My favorite tracks is definitely Ungodly Hour. Ungodly Hour, the album track. Usually album tracks are not good. For whatever reason, like you name it XYZ and then your title song is XYZ, it's the same thing. And it just falls short. It's like, here, they told you a story. And Ungodly Hour, like, hit me when you're ready. Hit me when you love yourself. Because you're not ready yet. You're coming to me, but you're not even ready yet. You're not prepared. You haven't done the work. I'll still be here, maybe. But you have to love yourself first. And then forgive me. Those vocals. that performance, that BET performance. I will never forget. And last but not least, it's a two-part. Busy Boy. And of course, Don't Make It Harder on Me. Classic 80s, 90s R&B. The thing that they did with their voice, the story that they told. These are grown women now. We've seen them when they were little girls. These are grown women. And for them to surpass and kick that stigma of second albums don't work, second albums, it's hard to make a second album, it's hard to outdo yourself. No. These girls are going to be around for a long time. So get used to them. So these were my top 10 albums of 2020. Let me know what y'all's are. Thank y'all for listening. This was Kimi with the tea of the day. And this is just part 1. I'm just getting started. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. Like, don't worry, it's gonna be a part B and it's gonna be part C. So thank y'all for listening to episode 75. Siete y 5. Hit me up on Facebook at Kim Holder. Hit me up on IG, Kimi Holder. Let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what your top 10 was. Definitely, share it. Sharing is caring. Listen. Give me critiques. And if you definitely want to start a podcast, Anchor is definitely the way to go. It's so easy. It is just so user-friendly to do. You can literally do your podcast anywhere. And if you're not ready to fully do a podcast, it's going to work. Like, I don't mind working. I'm here to talk about any and everything. I'm ready to push conversation, push the needles, and have fun doing it. Thank y'all. Laters.